let's think about perpendicular lines. The first question is, what is the line perpendicular to y equals to 2x passing the origin? This symbol right here that's perpendicular, okay? The idea is, so first, y equals to 2x. How do you graph this? Well, 2 is equal to 2 over 1. And if you think about this as 2 over 1 as rise over run, and we also know that 0, 0 is on this point, because if you plug in 0, it's the point of the graph. Then you can start at 0, 0. Sorry, this is run. And rise up by 2, because that's what it says. Rise is 2. And then run is 1, so you go run by 1. And you have this line. Okay? Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to draw another line that's perpendicular to this, right here. It's 90 degrees. And the question is, what is this equation? The equation would be, well, think about this. It's like taking this and rotating 90 degrees over here, right? So if you take this triangle and rotate it 90 degrees, what would you get? You would be getting another triangle that's like this. So you have 2 going this way and going up by 1, right? 2 this way and up by 1, right? So what is the slope of this line then? What's the rise? Let's say you go from here to there. Rise is, you're going down, so -1. What's the run? Positive 2. If you're going from here to there, it would be positive 2, right? Or you can also do from here to there. In that case, it'll be rising up by 1, but then you run -2. Either way, you're going to get the same slope, which is rise over run would be -1 over 2. So the answer to this is y equals to -1/2 x. Okay? Now, from this simple example, we can kind of see what's going to happen in general. We see that in general, if you have y equals to mx as the slope, as a line, then the one that has the perpendicular slope will be y equals to -1 over mx. So the m and so another way to put it is the slope of the perpendicular line is negative reciprocal. Okay? Negative reciprocal. Yeah, that's the key. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, here is a question. Here's another argument. Rather than giving you an example question, let me give you a secondary argument to see why this formula makes sense. So, suppose you have y equals to mx. Okay. That's the line with slope n. And think about this direction as x. This would be y. This side will be -x. And this side will be -y, right? In these places. And what we're going to do is, instead of trying to think about the perpendicular line, we're just going to simply take this and rotate 90 degrees. If you rotate 90 degrees, then the picture will rotate 90 degrees and you'll have a perpendicular line. Isn't that right? Okay. And then you're going to observe what's happening to x and y. So where does x go if you rotate 90 degrees? X goes to? Where does it go? Y. Okay. Y goes to? No, negative x. So what happens is that if you want to rotate 90 degrees, rotate by 90 degrees, what's happening is that x will go to y and y will become negative y. So this y here is going to, negative x, right? Negative x. So this y here will be negative x, m times, equals to m times, this x will become y. So that's what you have, right? And now you solve for y. What is that? Y equals to negative 1 over mx. So that's a proof. Okay. The reason that the perpendicular slope is negative 1 over m, in other words, it's the negative reciprocal, is because if you rotate it, x has to become y, and y becomes negative x, and if you solve for y, that's what you get. Okay? All right, so given this knowledge, let's try to solve an example problem. Very similar to previous one, okay? So, example 1. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to 3x minus 5y equals to 2, passing negative 2 comma 1. Let's try that. Okay, first, we have to get the information of the slope, right? So let's try to get the slope. 3x minus 5y equals to 2. I'm going to move 5y here and 2 over there. So what is that? 3x minus 2 is, what is it? 5y, right? And now you simply divide by 5 to each one of these, so what do you get? Y equals to 3 over 5x minus 2 over 5, right? So what's the slope? 3 over 5. Okay. But that's not the slope we want. What do we want?
The reciprocal?
Negative reciprocal. So m is the negative reciprocal. So it's going to be negative of what? Negative of 5 over 3. Okay? And then because it passes through negative 2 and 1, which we're going to say x1 and y1. And as I said, we always root for the point slope form. And we just stop there. You don't have to go further. Just say y minus 1 is negative 5 over 3. X minus negative 2. Done. That's the answer. Okay? Pretty simple, right?